We begin with a story that's gained a lot of traction since it was first published last week. Reporter Sonia Goins tells us the story of a Golden Valley pastor who slipped on the ice outside of his church and suffered a devastating injury. Here's the story.
We can observe things about faith in people's life. The Bible talks about faith as being the strong conviction, a habit and trust in God.
David Kent is the senior pastor of Christian Life Center in Golden Valley and Brooklyn Park. He's been uplifting people for decades and now could use some prayers himself.
Well, I believe that the Lord's going to bring healing to me. It's going to take some time.
On December 16th, Pastor Kent was walking outside his church when he slipped on the icy street.
We have kind of like a small hill that comes up into our parking lot. I slipped on the hill and on the ice. I could not move at all.
The 64-year-old pastor broke his neck. He was taken to North Memorial Health Hospital, where doctors operated on his spine.
And I'm able to move my arms and my legs a little bit.
It's going to be a long and very expensive recovery. Pastor Kent has self-pay health insurance, so he's got to pay most of the cost himself.
I'm trying to save money for the church to be able to pay our bills and all these other things.
A GoFundMe is set up to help with medical bills.
We've been told that we will need $350,000 up front to just get him into a rehab.
The longtime New Hope resident is not letting the situation get him down. He continues to smile and cheer for his favorite team, the Vikings.
I'm an optimist, so I always believe the Vikings are going to win.
The pastor says he's leaning on his faith to get him through this difficult journey.
I serve a mighty big God. He's able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we are able to ask. And so I have a total faith. My God is a healer.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Pastor Kent has filled a variety of faith roles throughout the northwest suburbs, including serving as a chaplain in the city of Plymouth and on prayer teams in New Hope and Brooklyn Park. For more information on the GoFundMe fundraiser, head to our website, ccxmedia.org. And now we take a look back at one of the snowiest January weeks in history. This week's storm was indeed the big one, setting records for a January snow event in the northwest suburbs. When the snow stopped falling, this week's storm produced 14.8 inches of snow as measured in New Hope and reported to the National Weather Service. The storm started Tuesday and it didn't wrap up until early Thursday. In total, 47 inches of snow have fallen this winter season, and that's more than all of last winter. And now with all of that snow, many residents are battling something else, fatigue. As Delane Cleveland reports, the storm is requiring long hours to get sidewalks and streets cleared.
The wet and heavy snow that fell over the last few days made quite the mess. Moving it can be backbreaking work.
I think for a real strong woman, I got it.
Kamisha Davenport does snow removal in Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park, and Minneapolis for her business, Pinky Fence. And on Wednesday alone, she put in 14 difficult hours.
The snow has been even taller than my snowblower, so it has been difficult the last couple days.
She's not the only one putting in long hours this week. In Golden Valley, a staff of 22 public works employees have worked 12-hour shifts to cover nearly 130 miles of residential streets and 53 miles of sidewalks.
It's just been long, 3 days of plowing, pretty much nonstop. It was a tough storm just because of the duration, the amount of snow, the type of snow. It was wet, it was heavy.
Crews came in at 2 a.m. on Thursday to help clear the roughly 13 inches of snow that fell in Golden Valley, stopping only occasionally to refill their tanks.
These trucks, everyone thinks they're really easy to plow in, but it's slippery. They get stuck. They don't turn the greatest when it's this type of snow.
Yet these unsung heroes plow through, overcoming the less than ideal conditions to help people get from point A to point B. The crews don't quite get down to the bare pavement like they do on highways and county roads, but they get close.
Cities typically don't, just because of the amount of chemical we have to use and the resources it takes to get down to that. So what we try to do is balance environmental impacts, cost of using chemical, and then just drivability and trying to make the road as safe as possible.
Back in Minneapolis, the one-woman crew of Kamisha Davenport takes a lot of pride in her work. It It may not be easy, but the end result is rewarding.
It may not seem like being stuck in snow is that big of a deal, but when you have things to do and places to go, and it may affect your work day or your situation with your kids, it's great to have somebody with a snowblower who will come get you out.
Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
This is the time of year when people begin flocking to outdoor lakes, either to fish, skate, or just hang out. One ice angler we spoke with this week out on Medicine Lake said the current snow made the ice very messy.
You know, I think last time I was out here it was like 11 inches of ice, so plenty of ice, but you just can't drive on it yet. I mean, I don't. Some crazy people do, but I don't understand it.
Daniel says the recent snowfall is pushing down the ice, so when you drill a hole to fish, water will come flooding out of it. Daniel says there's a lot of slush out on top of the ice. A reminder, too, that the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office and the Minnesota DNR both say ice is never completely safe. Please exercise caution on frozen water. With that said, we will leave you with some beautiful pictures from this week's snow and cold temperatures from out near Medicine Lake at French Regional Park.